Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, has been receiving a lot of heat ever since the Karmelo Anthony case began. And he is the only person involved in this case that has been receiving hate from both sides. Of course, we know that Karmelo Anthony's supporters are going to do what they do. We know they have swatted his house. They have said all types of crazy and foul things. They've accused him of this. They've accused him of that. We know how they get down. But Austin Metcalf's father has also been receiving some backlash or some heat from even people who were on Austin Metcalf's side, because they feel like Jeff has not been harsh enough on Karmelo and Karmelo's family. They feel like he kind of took it easy on them, that he's been too understanding. You know, a lot of people don't like that he tried to extend the olive branch and tried to make peace between him and Karmelo's family. A lot of people want Jeff to say certain things that just might not be a good idea for Jeff to say. Now, look, I've been frustrated by some things. There were some things that Jeff said that I didn't like. But overall, now that this case has been going on for a while now that we had a chance to take a breather, now that we've had a chance to take a step back and look at the overall situation, I honestly feel like Jeff Metcalf has handled this perfectly. Better than I think anyone could. Better than I could. Look, I told you right from the beginning I would have had a much different reaction than Jeff. But I think there are certain things that Jeff doesn't want to say. There are certain places where Jeff just doesn't want to take things, because he does not want that being tied to his son's legacy. He doesn't want any negative things being tied to his son's name. I'm sure Jeff wants to get out there and cuss people out and say a whole lot. But he knows that if he does so, yeah, it may make him feel better in the moment. Yeah, it may make us feel better. But they will do whatever they can to put a negative spin on it, to basically throw dirt on Austin Metcalf's name. He knows that. He knows how the media is, just like we know how the media is. So yeah, there's some things that we would say. There's things that we're saying now. There's things that you may think Jeff should say, but you got to look at the bigger picture. Jeff still has a son in school. Austin's twin brother Hunter still has to go through school. There are a lot of things that Jeff has to take into consideration. So while I understand some of the criticism, I feel like a lot of the hate is unnecessary, especially when you look at the bigger picture now and you get to take a step back and see how all of this has played out. Because I think that Austin's father has shown just levels of restraint that I possibly couldn't even fathom having. And I think that he has masterfully kind of flown mostly under the radar while allowing Karmelo Anthony's family to make themselves look bad. You know, the media tried to make Austin's father the center of the conversation when it came to this case. The media has largely ignored this story. But whenever they get a chance to try to get Austin Metcalf's father flustered, whenever they get a chance and Austin's father shows up at the school or he shows up at a press conference, all cameras are on him because they want him to act irrational. And this is what I've been warning people about. A lot of the pushing, a lot of the prodding, a lot of the poking that we've seen from Karmelo's supporters, including his baby-shaking spokesperson. A lot of the foul behavior, a lot of the stuff they've been doing it purposely for the sole purpose of provoking Austin Metcalf's father. They want the narrative to change here desperately. They don't want people making fun of Karmelo's family spending all of this money. No, they want people looking at Austin's father like he's a crazy, out of control racist. That's what they want. And they've been desperately trying to get that. And Austin's father hasn't given it to him yet. Maybe me or you or someone else, maybe we would have given them what they wanted by now. Austin's father has been restraining himself. And I'm glad that he has done so, because they have tried everything they can to get Austin's father to step out of line. They're trying to get him to do something crazy, like beyond words. I'm talking something physical, maybe even, I don't even know if physical is the right word. They want him to act out violently. Or they want him to say a bunch of things that they can use against him. And up until this point, everything they have tried has not worked. And now that Karmelo's been indicted, a lot of his supporters are gone. They've blown away in the wind. But his more loyal supporters, they've gotten even more desperate. And because they have not gotten what they wanted out of Austin Metcalf's father yet, they are now making stuff up. I'm sure some of you may have seen this by now. A lot of you probably haven't, though. But Karmelo's supporters are now doing TikTok lives with someone that they claim is Austin Metcalf's father, and it isn't. But they're putting clips all over the internet claiming that this is Austin's father calling some lady the N-word and cussing people out. This is like, I don't want to say their last act of desperation, because this is far from over, but because they haven't gotten Jeff Metcalf to lash out, because they haven't gotten Jeff Metcalf to acknowledge that there is a racial aspect to this story, because they haven't gotten him to say anything racist or something that can be interpreted as racist, because they haven't been able to do that yet, they have now created fake clips all over the internet. They have a fake Jeff Metcalf out here cussing people out, calling them the N-word, and they're spreading it all over the internet like it's the real Jeff Metcalf. Now, I'm not sure if Jeff is aware of this yet. Be sure to share this video everywhere to spread awareness, because this is a lawsuit here. This is a lawsuit for sure. Because now, all over the internet, Karmelo Anthony's supporters are sharing this clip, claiming that, oh my God, see, there it is. Austin Metcalf's dad snaps and calls lady the N-word. And it's not even his dad. It's very obviously fake nonsense. But Karmelo Anthony's supporters will buy it. They'll eat it all up. Because for some reason, that community of people, they are so obsessed with white people saying the N-word that it's like one of their driving forces in life. When me and you, we may sit down and watch a movie like The Goonies. Maybe we'll do something, read a book. They sit down and watch clips of white people possibly saying the N-word so they can all get mad and enraged. And my thing is, even if this clip that is being shared, even if it was real, I still wouldn't care. If Austin's father got mad and flipped out and called a couple of people the N-word, I don't give a damn. Sorry. That is nothing compared to what people have put him through. Do you think these people think twice before falsely labeling him a racist, before making up lies about his dead kid? Before, throwing racial slurs at him? No. So why would I care? I'm telling you that the clip is fake, but even if it was real, I would not care. That word doesn't hold the power that these people think it does. Maybe your world stops turning because someone said the N-word. Mine does not. It's just another word. But before I go any further, I want to show you the clip in question. I may have to edit a certain part out here for obvious reasons, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, and then I'll be right back with more. But before I roll this clip, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Make sure you drop a comment below. Make sure you share the video. And if you really support the channel, if you're entertained by these videos, if you're informed by these videos, If you like what I have to say, you could always consider donating via Cash App or Super Thanks. Help keep the lights on over here. It's always really appreciated. Now, with that being said, let's roll this fake clip of Jeff Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's dad, and then I'll be right back with more.
So rational and smart. If someone touches your arm, does that justify you stabbing them in the heart?
In a hostile situation where someone walks up to me with
answer the question, yes or no. Does it
I'm answering your
justify it?
question. That's not the situation.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. You walked up the whole totality of the situation.
He touched him. Does that justify? Okay, man, I'm done. Fuck off. Next person.
Man, you fuck off. Yeah, you disrespect.
Dude, why don't you go to fucking just somewhere where you belong?
The Real, do you have a question or comment, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff Metcalf, you're a racist ass prick.
Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, you heard that for yourself, just me.
Now, I told you guys right from the beginning, right when I started covering this case, that we are operating in two different realities here. You got people like me and most of you all watching this video. We are here on planet Earth. We are here in actual reality dealing with the facts of this case. Now, Karmelo Anthony supporters, most of them live in what I call the Mediaverse, where everything in their life is shaped by racism. Everything is racist. Everyone is racist. White people are to blame for everything. And as we've been following the facts of this case, they've been following all of the misinformation shared by other black content creators in the Mediaverse. So in their mind, they think that Karmelo Anthony was robbed and jumped by Austin Metcalf and his twin brother for racial reasons. They believe that Austin's dad, Jeff, is out here on the internet calling everyone the N-word. They believe that Karmelo Anthony actually used a fake tool called a cleat sharpener to kill Austin. They believe just all of this wild, wacky stuff that they just heard from some random black content creator on TikTok. They're not here on planet Earth with us. So trying to have a conversation about this case with these people is damn near impossible. Because, like I said, they're dealing with an alternate reality filled with alternate facts that just aren't facts at all. It's just a bunch of made-up racist BS. And it's funny because they're so obsessed with racism. They're so obsessed with racism and claiming everything is racist and everyone's racist that they don't realize that they are the actual racist. Like if you're sitting at home and instead of actually reading the police report, you're listening to what some race baiter says on TikTok, you know, these people just need to come to the realization that they are everything that they claim other people are. We as human beings should be able to take race out of the equation and look at this case, take the color of people's skin, the colors of people's skin, and put it to the side and just look at this case. If Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf were both purple, if they were both green, and this went down, Karmelo Anthony would still be in the wrong. It's just that plain and simple. But if Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf were both green, there would be no argument here. The only reason there is an argument about this case is because of race. And we have a race of people, a group of people, not all, but some, who refuse to hold their own kind accountable, and they will make whatever excuses necessary. Also, they really like seeing white kids get killed. There's no other explanation for it. We have seen them dancing and jigging and gyrating and twerking and making rap songs about Austin being killed. So there's no way around that either. But for them to stoop to this low, it's one thing to be out there spreading lies. It's another thing to be impersonating Austin's father and spreading this false information out there, especially when you know that Karmelo supporters are a bunch of dumbasses that will actually buy into this and believe this. So now moving forward, when I cover this case, a lot of the people watching my videos are going to be watching them thinking that Jeff Metcalf is this guy that is snapping on TikTok Live calling people the N-word. And it's easier to fool people than it is to convince people that they've been fooled. So now, unfortunately, a certain portion of our society that is following this case, their mind is now polluted, and they will forever think that this was really Jeff Metcalf, instead of using their brain and realizing, hey, wait, actually it's not. But that's how desperate these people are. And that's why I'm glad that Jeff never gave them the reaction that they were looking for, because this is proof that they were looking for that reaction. They were looking so desperately, they waited months, but they couldn't wait any longer. They were so giddy and excited to frame Jeff Metcalf for being a racist that said the N-word that they brought in a fake Jeff Metcalf impersonator to do so. So if they're willing to do this, what else are they willing to do? Basically anything. So act accordingly and understand that if you ever get caught up in a situation like this, they'll do the same thing to your kid and they'll make up lies about you. So go ahead and just keep that in mind. But with all of that being said, let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.